Divine greetings and gratitude. Welcome back to our sacred space. Of course, I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Welcome back to our space, of course. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards for you. I don't know what this is going to be about, but I do know that we do have some mix match energy going on. I'm all here for it. I'm not even worried about it. Let's go ahead and see what you have as far as your messages are concerned. I hope that you enjoyed the last reading that you had, of course. I just heard the word jungle. I just heard the words jungle gym. Jungle gym. I don't know what card that was, but I do know that that's the first card that wants to appear. So we're going to leave that card out. And yes, I don't know why I just heard the words jungle gym. And then I just heard like bike riding. This is the second card that wants to come out. I don't know what that card is. And also, I find myself having to flip your cards around only because they keep wanting to show face, but I'm refusing to look at it. I just heard the word obstacle. I'm wondering if you feel like you have an obstacle in front of you, or like this thing that you find yourself in, or this situation that you find yourself in, or these situations, because I am picking up on more than one thing. So this feels like several situations that you find yourself in, and it's causing you to have to figure out, how do I make it past this obstacle? Because I feel like I'm out of breath. Yes, but I've done this so many times. Why do I feel so tired? Why do I feel so not wounded per se, but more so sore? It's like when you keep doing something over and over and over again, and you go through training and you're like, why am I not past this yet? Like, I feel like I keep doing it. I keep doing it. I keep doing it. But why am I not passing it? Like, I know all the steps. I know everything that I need to do. I know, because I read this book through and through. I've studied this practice, through and through. I have trained. I've done all this, but now I feel like it's the real thing here, and I can't get past it, or the real thing is coming, and I can't seem to pass this test. Like, why does it feel like I keep having to go back and exercise and work out? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I just heard the word overlook. It's almost kind of like it's something that's so simple that you'd be pissed off when you see it, because it's like, I could have just did that. Like, I could have just done that. Like, why didn't I do it? And as I say that, you have a card that just flipped out and it fell face down on the floor. Let me go pick that up real quick. Okay. So, wow, that's interesting, because the card that I had to go chase and pick up off the floor is the Four of Cups. All right. Now, the reason why I feel that this is extremely interesting is because the Four of Cups normally comes up when there's either something that we're not accepting, or there's something that we're not, or that we're not willing to, that we're not willing to accept, whether it be for good or for bad or for whatever it may be. But in this instance, it feels like this lack of acceptance is like, listen, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. So I feel like this, I just heard pivot and then purpose. So it almost kind of gives me the feeling of like, yes, you know this through and through. Yes, you know that these are things that you're really, really good at, and you're not passing the test. Is it the fact that you're not necessarily passing the test, or are we trying to give you something or show you something or present you something, and you're refusing to see it because you want so badly to focus and conquer this one thing? But what if you decided, okay, I'm going to leave this jungle gym, I'm going to leave this and pivot and move over towards this? I just heard the word great return. It almost feels like you are being called to return to something that wouldn't even dare have you working as hard or training as hard and being as rigorous as you are while at this jungle gym, which is funny because you would think of it as like, okay, maybe like an adult jungle gym, maybe like one of those tests like that you see like on TV or whatever, those sports games or game shows that you see on TV where the people have to like, I really don't know what they're called, but I kind of catch them from time to time. It's like when they have to do these like exercises, or they have to run, or they have to like, I don't know, ride a bike across, I don't know, something that's like above water, and then they fall into the water, they get hit by something. I don't know. It's like you do these types of trainings or whatnot, or these types of games, and it's like you keep like failing, even though you go through the training and things of that nature. It's like, why am I not doing this? And I just heard that it's because you don't need to prove anything. Like there's something about how you're in the situation or you're doing this thing because you're trying to prove to yourself that you can do it. You're trying to prove, to yourself, or it could be other people or whatever it may be. It's like you're trying to prove that you can master this thing. But what if this thing is not meant for you to master? What if this was something that you already mastered in a past life? What if this is something that you already know? And the moment that you decide, okay, look, I have nothing to prove here. If I'm done with this, if I lose, I lose, whatever. Like at this point, I'm just over it. I'm done. And it's like the moment you say that and the moment you make up your mind, it's like, I am so done with this. I'm over it. I'm just going to get this over with so I can go. And then that's when you beat it. And I don't know why it's coming through that way or why Spirit is saying it that way. But I feel that I'm guided to say it this way is because it's this clinging that you may have to winning it, that it's the experience and the purpose that you tap into when you're on the journey is being overlooked. And it's like, listen, it's not about the winning here. It's about you understanding what you're capable of. It's about the fact that you know that you give this purpose. It's not about winning. So I feel like that there wants me to go deeper into the question of, are you doing this for the sake of winning, or like, what is your actual why? Like, why are you actually choosing to do this? And I feel like it's this state of introspection that the divine is calling you to. I know that these readings are not always, they're not always going to be love, light, and all of these things. They're not. And I've come to just be okay with that. And, even being okay with just expressing it to you in readings. It just is what it is. And it's interesting because I feel like you have the Six of Pentacles here. You have the Death card. Look, the Death card. And you also have the Hangman in reverse. Let me move this down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. I hope you can see that a little bit better. So yes, even with these cards coming out, it feels to me like there's this refusal to allow yourself to not hang up, but allow yourself to just kind of pull back from it and just kind of think for a little bit. And I feel that this definitely is one of those things where it's time. I just heard a recall. It's like, it's time for a recall. It's one of those things where you ask yourself, why am I putting so much forth the energy into this thing? What is it that I'm really trying to gain? And what does winning this prize mean to you truly? Is it really about the experience? Is this really about love? Is this really about, whatever it may be? Is it really about love or being seen or being known or being perceived? Or is it something that's self-motivated? Like, I feel like you're going to call somebody out for something, saying, okay, why do you really want this relationship? It's like, you keep chasing me, you keep going after me, but I feel like you don't want me. There's something about you obtaining me, or not even obtaining me, because I'm not a trophy. Like, I'm not going to speak down on myself, but it's one of those things where I feel like the reason why you're really wanting me is because you're proving something to yourself, or you want to prove something to yourself. But what are you trying to prove? And I feel like, if anything, it's one of those things. I just heard the word like dignity. It's like, where's your dignity? Like, you don't need to chase me, because chasing me means what? If anything, go inward. See, and I think that whoever this is, it's like they're kind of programmed, like they're programmed in a way to look outside of themselves, because the external accomplishment is what validates or dictates what or how they're supposed to feel on the inside. Does that make sense? But I feel like, if anything, the divine is saying you don't need to prove anything. And not only that, it's not about winning, it's about the experience. But the moment you decided that you are done with this, that you have nothing to prove, somehow you just miraculously end up winning. And it's because it's the valuable lesson that you learned about the journey. It was never about the destination. And as cliche as that is, I know, I get it. I can hear the teeth smacking now. I get it. I understand. But truly, it's not. And to me, it's about the journey, yes, but it's about the faces that you meet. It's about the way you feel when you're surrounded by people. It's about the way that the water the water glistens and it kisses the sunlight, or it holds the reflection of the sunlight. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like, wow, like, I see this glistening. Like, look at my soul shining back at me. Like, I love this, right? Going to the beach isn't the point. It's the experience that you have at the beach. Right. And I feel like I just heard the word reflection. I'm seeing a mirror and I'm seeing a mirror, but I'm seeing you look into the water, which is so interesting to me because water is one of the very many most potent ways you can scry apart from using a mirror. Yes, an obsidian mirror is great for scrying. Cool. A crystal ball is great for scrying. Cool. But it's something about water where when you dive into the water, it's like you're staring back at the soul, at your soul, at the glistening of your own soul when you're staring deep into the water. And I feel like that water, that surface, that reflection is staring back at you, but it's showing you your depth. It could be the most shallow form of, the most shallow water, right? And you can see your reflection, but what it's showing you is that as shallow as this may seem, it's actually a lot more deep, or at least the shallow aspect leads you to the deeper layers if you allow it to. So how much of this are you giving? How much are you deciding to put in on this? Are you willing to bet on yourself? That's so interesting because I feel like the thing is that are you willing to bet on yourself enough to where you allow yourself to surrender without refusal, without refusing? Are you willing to bet on yourself without refusing to see what spirit is showing you, right? Are you willing to do that? Because if you do, the transition will be sweet, but there's something that you have to surrender to, right? That's the reason why you have the hangman here. It's like you can, right? Like you don't have to, but you can be willing to surrender because that's what's going to help you make the move. That's what's going to help you pivot. And it may not be what you're used to, but you'll get used to it eventually. And then you'll say, you know what? I get it. I get it. Loneliness, and then you have body here, and I'm going to read it. And then you have calmness, which is so interesting to me that these are coming out. And you also have two more cards. I'm going to pull those out in a second. You have patience and you have doubts. Precisely. So the fact that you have these coming out along with your tarot, what this is telling me is that with the body, I'm going to read it to you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to read it to you. Show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. I feel like the body card is not bringing me to like the actual body. Although this could be body, but it's bringing me to the body, to the bodies, like not just your physical body, but your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. Right? All of these bodies. And I feel like it's one of those things where things can definitely feel lonely. It can feel like you're not where you want to be. It can feel like this is just not working, or it's like you want it to work. But what I do feel here, especially with calmness and patience and doubt, it's like even in the midst of this, even when you lose patience with yourself along this journey, even if you feel like you lose patience with people, there's a sudden peace that comes with you allowing yourself to surrender to this very thing. And let's just say, for example, if you're not pivoting, if this is not a pivotal moment for you in your life, what this is to me is letting you know that it is absolutely 100% okay for you to change your why, and then the outcome changes. Right? So I feel like if you're not leaving a job, if you're not leaving a relationship, if you're not leaving a partnership, a business partnership, it's not about you leaving, but more so you allowing yourself to transition and then change the why behind it. That's the energy that I'm getting with this reading. And it's interesting because the Hermit card is not even here. And you would think that the Hermit card would show up saying, why? But I don't feel like I need the Hermit to tell me, to confirm anything. I just don't. I mean, you have the Ace of Swords, which lets me know that, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense that it would be that way. But I honestly feel like that's just what it is. Like, I wouldn't put anything else on this at all. And even when in doubt, when you allow yourself to just meditate, sit with it, pray on it. Maybe you pray, maybe you don't. Maybe you just set your intention in that, and then that's it. Right? I feel like if anything, this is where you allow yourself to go inward. And this is where you allow yourself to just simply know that if you just allow, then you will be led to the victory. If you hear any noise in the background, I apologize about that. Look at that. You also have the chariot card here. You have the chariot card, the star card, and the two of wands. This tells me that I feel like if anything, and your near future, what I do see is that there is a victory. Like this railroad here, and also this ace of swords and the star. I just heard the word prevail. I feel like you are definitely prevailing. I feel like this is where you start to really trust yourself and you'll start to understand that the more that you allow, the more that the fire ends up becoming more potent, right? It's like the fire becomes more potent. I also do hear, I just feel like you're wielding something and I feel like you're going to obtain some type of knowledge. And also, your spiritual team is absolutely here to help, okay? I feel like your ancestors want to give you a message. And I feel like I just heard that we've been down this road before. You pave your own way 100%. But there's something about how they're saying that we've been down this road before. And they've also been telling you, they've been speaking to you very clearly, very cutthroat. Your ancestors give me the energy of, or at least your immediate ancestors, or the one that you work with, or the ones that you work with, they do not sugarcoat anything. Like when they are there, you know their presence. You know, because they have, I just heard that they have like this strong, stern energy. Or you feel like, tobacco, of course it'll be tobacco. That makes sense. But whiskey. So it's like whiskey. And I'm also getting, so for some of you, your ancestors were big on cigarettes. And I just heard that they were big on cigarettes, but they quit smoking. And I'm also getting like a feel of like ash. Like I'm feeling ash, but I'm also like seeing it. And I'm also like smelling like the remains of like, I don't know if this person was cremated but it's like, and I just keep hearing like the word grandfather. This is the grandfather spirit. And they drank and they smoked, but they stopped, is what I'm getting a feel of. This is really specific for somebody. This is not everybody's reading. Please do not connect with this if this is not yours. It's just not, and it's okay that they're not. And they're showing me like a whip, like a cow's whip or like some type of whip. This is really triggering and it's making me feel a little angry actually. It does. It kind of pisses me off a bit seeing that, but that's really, thank you for showing me the images. I heard the word slavery. And then I heard reparations. I heard slavery, then I heard reparations. I also just heard not everybody in your family were slaves. And then I also just heard it's not what you think. They're giving me clues and like nuggets, but they're not telling me like the exact story. Like they're not giving me like the exact storyline. I just heard I was never whipped. I was never whipped. Like they can't speak for everybody else, but they're saying I was never whipped. And then they're showing me like eggs and they're saying I never dropped the eggs. Like I didn't drop the eggs. I was never whipped. We were never whipped. There's money to come back. There's some type of money to be made to come back. And I just heard the word indentured. Indentured. INDENTURED, I think. Indentured. And then I just heard, can you please give me that back? I didn't catch it. It's something about the railroad or like going like across they're saying that they want you to work with with nails. They're wanting you to be careful of war water. This is not your war. You don't fight this war. They're saying, do not fight this war. This is not your war. And they're saying to be careful making war water. This is not your fight. You don't need to fight that. So they're they're coming through saying that you don't need to be fighting something. So let's just say, for example, if this is pertaining to your actual like life, right? Like your purpose or whatever it may be, stay out of it. This is not your fight. This is not yours. You will know when it is your time. That is not yours. Stay out of that. Like they don't want you to get into something. So watch your step, watch where you're going. That's just the other messages that they have for you. So either way it goes, I feel like to kind of, wrap this up, it really just kind of feels like to me that you're wielding something. And as a result of this situation, you're going to come out with a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. Absolutely. But I also feel like you're going to come out with divine clarity. And it also may not be in the way that you would want it to be, but it's going to come out regardless. And the thing about, and the funny thing is, I'm drawn to my obsidian knife here. I don't know if I can show it on YouTube or whatnot because I don't want them to flag me for weapons or whatnot. I'm not using any weapons, but this is my obsidian knife over here, right? And the thing about obsidian knife is that, for one, it's all about the way that you use your words. Do you use your words to cut in order to heal, or in order to destroy, in order to create, or in order to cause destruction, or in order to cause chaos? Like, how are you using it? So I feel like, if anything, this is the sharpness of your mind and you gaining clarity and you understanding that the truth that is coming out may not feel pleasant, but it is necessary. And I feel like the outcome may not be what you want it to be, but when you move out of ego and you understand that this is for a higher purpose, you understand, okay, this was the reason why this didn't work out. And I know now that I feel more empowered to choose the path forward. And that's what I feel for you today. Thank you so much for listening and for tuning in. I hope that you receive what you needed from this message. If it does not resonate with you, that is perfectly fine. Make sure that you give this to someone that can absolutely use the message. Pass it along. I would love for you to do that. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because it does help us to get into the algorithm. And with YouTube changing their things, I find that to be just a big bummer. And I would love to get this YouTube monetized before 6 months, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens at this point. But I do have a space for you over at the Saiyonan the Saiyonan Circle. That's actually where I'm starting to build a ministry from the ground up. And I would love for you to join and be a part of our private coven because I'm going to be doing a lot more readings that I will not do so in the public. Okay. Also, we did get some things added onto the website. And one of the things that we added was the protection spell candle kit, which is so cute. I love it. And it's not just cute, it's powerful actually, because the herbs that I use are so powerful. But anyway, these can be found on the website. Of course, I'll make sure to link something down below for you. And I'm also going to be adding a lot more of these. This is this beautiful 1 ounce oil that I absolutely love. I love this. And then, of course, it comes with 2 of these spell candles. And anyway, I'm going to be actually getting a lot more of these to add to the Ethereum. So yes, thank you for tuning in. I love you very much. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next video.